Today's episode is a little bit different. Today's a solo episode, but I'm talking about the dads, right? This is the month of celebrating the men in our lives for being amazing fathers, to being amazing friends, mentors, and all of that. And so, hey, welcome to another episode. This Stop Sulking podcast. I am your host, Ms. Tasha Talks Life, and I help guide you to your dream life faster by making simple, actionable tweaks to your mind, body, and goals. If you have been here for a while with me, 101 episodes, welcome back. How's it going? If you are new here and you find value, like and subscribe to the show. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Share with a friend. I'm all about giving actionable strategies, tips. I'm an educator by trade. And I think it's important that when you have a platform that you use it to help to uplift people, to encourage them, to support them. And that's what this podcast is all about. So welcome, sis, stop sulking and get this information. And go back and watch all the episodes and see the humble beginnings, because it didn't always look like this. And there's so much more to do. So I'm so excited for the journey, period. But I'm excited for this month because I have some very special guests that are coming on that are very, very dear to me, that's going to bless us with some insights, bless us with some tips and strategies. So for this, at least for this next month, you want to share this with your partner, a father. So today I want to talk generally about the men in my life, specifically my dad. I usually come on with strategies and tips and things like that, but this is just me coming off the top of my heart and acknowledging him for all that he has been to me and for me in my life. And so I usually start with a quote, and the quote is, "My father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it." And that is by Clarence Buddington Kelland. My father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it. And I'm looking for a bunch of different quotes. And this one spoke to me so profoundly because my father is so dope. And I'm not just saying that because he's my dad. Like, anybody that knows him could tell you, like, he is the most kindest, smartest, best storyteller. He's also my bishop, and he has taught me invaluable things throughout the course of my life. And I'll share some of my favorite moments and memories with him, but he's just an amazing, humble, but confident. And yeah, I just love my daddy, if you can't tell. But yeah, and he leads by example. And for me, being a strong, resilient woman, I need to see examples, and I need to see that in a reflection of the people that I look up to. And so, and he's not perfect by any means, but like, he's a role model, meaning like he puts his money where his mouth is. He shows in action that when he says something, it's kind of like you respect it. For example, when I was a little girl, me and my sisters would be, trying to get into some mischief or whatever. And I always, like, if he said, don't go somewhere or don't do something, or I wasn't, count me out. Like, I'm too afraid to disappoint him. I always felt like if I did something wrong, if I did it when he said don't do it, something's going to go wrong. So I really did not. I was always afraid in that sense, not because of his punishment or anything like that, but because I didn't want to. I held his opinion of me so high, and I hold his opinion of me so high that I didn't want to disappoint him. And so it's so funny because I remember this, I'm probably going to share this later, but I remember him telling me not to go somewhere. I just got in a car, 16, telling me not to go somewhere. And then as soon as I get in the car, my friends, they're like, "Oh, let's go, let's go." And I'm like, my dad said no. And I was looked at like a square because I would stick to that. Like, he said no, I'm not going. And it's just so funny because, again, I always thought, like, if I go, he's going to find out. And then I'm going to disappoint him. I'm going to be sad about that, or he's going to be disappointed. And I can't have that. Or something's going to go wrong because he told me not to go. But that's just how I operated anyway as a kid. I was a little square. But Statistically, according to the data from the National Center of Health and Statistics and the other sources, Black fathers are often stereotyped as being absent from their child's lives. However, a CDC report highlighted that Black fathers who live with their children are just as involved, if not more, in their care compared to the white and Hispanic counterparts. This includes activities like feeding, bathing, playing, and reading to their children. So I'm bringing this up because there's this made up theory, and I know where it came from, that Black men are not in the homes and they are the kids are growing up without influence, without support, without this. Statistically, the fathers that are in the home, the Black fathers that are in the home, are more hands-on with their child's development than the white and Hispanic counterparts. And at one point, it was just because that's what I saw. Like, the narrative that Black men don't take care of their kids and all that stuff, I'd never seen that. Like, I remember, even I'm not even going to go back as far as a young child, because yes, my parents did, when they were young, trying to figure it out, they did leave us to be raised by my grandmother for a nice amount of years as they got themselves together. But if I even go forward, my brothers, my cousins, the men in my church, like, literally we had to get changing tables in the men's bathroom because our men are that much hands-on with their children and their grandchildren. So it's and then also, I know I have a lot of friends that are not Black, and their husbands are there, their husbands are providers, but they don't do nearly as much with the kids as we do. And this is a statistic. I found this because I wanted to bring some context to the conversation, and not just my own experiences or my own feelings and my own thoughts, but that is not true. That is not true, that the Black men that are in the house are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, because they are. And then I found another statistic. The same study indicates that even among those who do not live with their children, Black fathers are more likely than their white and Hispanic counterparts to maintain contact and be involved in their children's lives. This includes frequent phone calls, FaceTime, and engaging in various other aspects of their children's lives. So even the fathers that are not with the moms are still active. The Black fathers are still active in their children's lives outside of being in the home. So we can stop talking about Black men are not raising their kids, Black men are not doing this, Black men are not there, because it's not more than any other nationality. It was designed, and that could be a whole nother conversation, but I believe that if we go back to the 80s, maybe the 70s, it was designed for it to be like that. And there was a part where it was because of addictions and things like that, but it's coming back around, and our Black men are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And yeah, we want it to be more, but we can definitely kudos to the ones that are. And we love you, we see you, and we appreciate you. And so as I was thinking about what did I want to share today, this is basically just the preview to what the next couple of episodes is going to be based on. And I'm going to have some men here coming on that's going to really, share the journey, because I don't know what it's like to be a Black dad, right? I can only speak about what it's like to be a Black mom. And I think that for Father's Day, would y'all stop saying Happy Mother's Day to the single moms? Like, I was a single mom, so I hear you, but I don't hear you, because you could never be a dad. Can your children grow up and have a successful life, be good citizens, good human beings, being raised by a single mom? Absolutely. But let the man have Happy Father's Day. It don't have to be your man. If your baby daddy or the person that you had kids with is not holding up that role and you don't want to acknowledge him, but don't get on here talking about Happy Father's Day to yourself, or Happy Father's Day to your girlfriend that's single and making it work. because actually Mother's Day is every day. And and you have your day, and then you can celebrate Mother's Day every day after that. Just give these men their due, right? And I know that's not popular, and I know I got a couple of friends that do it, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because I don't want to know what it's like to be a dad. I don't want to be a dad. I am a damn good mom, right? So I just wanted to come on and shout out the dads out there. And I want you to share a memory of your person in your life. It could be your husband with his kids. It could be your dad, um, your uncle, grandfather, any male figure that has been a father figure for you or in some way. Share a story in the comments. Share, like, what is one thing that you remember most about him? What are some qualities that you have similar to his? So like for me, my dad is a super introvert. Now, he's also a bishop, and when he talks, you listen. And he comes into a room, he takes up space because he just has a light that shines. I get that from him. I get that from him. But he's very introverted. So small talk is not his thing. He only speaks when he has something to say. And then if I talk about my husband, and if you've been following me for a long time, you know me and my husband have had some challenges the past 2 years. We were separated. And even in that separation, he's always been a great dad. His kids adore him. My son, his stepson, adores him. He's 22 years old. And when we were going through our trouble, I feel like, struggled the most because he's been with him since he was 7 years old. So he just couldn't understand, like, what do you mean? Like, it works if y'all work it. And I'm like, boy, you're young. You don't know what's going on. But I'm grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for where we are today. But he's amazing. He's an amazing dad. He is attentive. He's fun with them. He shows them things, teaches them, and he's a great dad. I always hear him giving them like lessons, life lessons, and he always says to them like, "I want you to be better than me." Like, "Oh, Dad, I love you," or "Dad, you're the best," or and he's like, "Yeah, he's like, "I want to be just like you." He's like, "No, I want you to be better than me," and I appreciate that. And just watching him with them in there, and when they're playing or when it just warms my heart because it doesn't have to be, right? There are a lot of men that are providers. There are a lot of men that, are in the home, can build a home from the ground up, and do not have a relationship with their children. They are not connected to their kids. They have not taught them any lessons. The kids are it's just a routine in life. And I feel like it's very important to make memories, teach them something, show them skills. That's how skills get passed down. Like, as far as fixing a tire and changing oil or screwing in a light bulb or laying down tile, all of that stuff. That those skills can be, if you're a man, or you have a man in your life that has those skills, it's important for them to show them to the next generation. It's not that, yeah, they can go to trade school and all of that, but they could still learn it directly from a source that is valuable. And even if they don't go in that direction for a career, they will have that as a man in their home, right? So, yeah, so I just wanted to come on and just talk a little bit about the men in my family. And I don't want to talk too much because I'm having some of the closest ones to me on the show, and I want to give them their flowers on the show. So I'm going to leave it there. And so before I end this segment, I just want to um, encourage you to support the men in your life, whether it's a boyfriend, a husband, a brother, a father, a uncle, anybody that's close to you, because it's not easy out here. And Lord, we know, but we have different challenges than them. And so we want to lift them up in prayer. We want to cover them from their heads to their feet. We want to affirm them, right? Support them, see the things that they don't see, and just be a soft place for them to land when they come home. So with that being said, I'm going to end with my declaration. At the end of every show, I give a mindset declaration. And this one is more so speaking to the men in my life, speaking to my father. I am grateful for the impact your presence and support has had in my life. And so write that down. You could speak that, you could text that to someone that is important to you and let them know, like, I see you, I feel you, I love you, thank you. And yeah. And I also end each episode now with something that I can give to the younger me, the younger women, the younger girls that are coming behind us. What would I tell my younger self? And so when I'm thinking of honoring fathers and um, male figures in our lives, look at the positive male figures in your life and see the qualities that you appreciate. So when you are dating and looking for love, you have an idea of what that looks like. If there is no male figure in your life, your father is not around, your grandfather is not around, um, think about someone that you see that you admire, but just being intentional and specific about the quality that you want in a partner. Yeah, I think I would say that because like if I remember back, I didn't have he was cute. He might have had a little money, a nice car. He wanted to take me out. He liked me. He complimented me. Like I I didn't think about until it was too late or until I was in love. And then I'm like, well, he don't do this or he does this or whatever. I think if you're in your 20s, and I know you should be living your life, yes, but also knowing like the type of quality people that you want to associate yourself with. And that means by knowing what you like, what you don't like, what are some characteristics, what are some like if you're dating someone and every time you speak to him, he's and this is going off on a tangent, but he's on the couch at home playing a video game and you're in your 20s and you have two jobs and going to school. Yes, we grow up faster than them. Yes, whatever. And yes, we can support them. And yes, we can, but like I think knowing kind of the idea. I know and I'm talking from experience now, what I would tell my younger self. So this is what I tell my nieces. This is what I tell the little girls the girls that I mentor. Like, look at the qualities. Look at is he a good student in school or is he always in trouble, always getting suspended? And I know he's young and I know you're young and I know you're going to grow and I know whatever, but just look at those things. Pay attention to those things and value yourself. I know that you deserve more. So I hope this was helpful. I know it was a little bit of a ramble on, but I really wanted to just come on and set and just talk about, the statistics that it's a lie, so we can stop spreading it or we can stop agreeing with it or we can stop letting people tell us that because it's not true. And then also I want to acknowledge the men in my life. I'm going to give them their flowers. Coming up, always do, but just in public, and just sharing some stories or whatever. So I hope this helped you. I want you to have the most amazing week. I want you to be well and to remember that your past does not dictate your better future. Till next episode.